agency to create gank setup while the Viego gets locked in for Kanavi.
This is becoming a little bit of a trend, I'm noticing. You're looking at the likes of JDG, RNG, hell, even, I would even say like some of the likes of LNG are moving back towards this. I really don't want to see it. I'm sorry, Leyan, I love you, but the Nidalee for you has not been exceptional at all over the last while.
He's doing it.
Please don't. I really don't want him to.
Nidalee Renekton Bam right here. He's doing it.
Well, you can't Renekton because Renekton's already banned, so it's going to be Nidalee something, but it's not going to be Renekton.
Well, it's okay. We're going to get the Xayah for the side of Sssum, which is a pick that he has been looking spectacular on. So hopefully we also get the Rakan denial from JDG, or they're just going to give it over as they respond with something like the Aphelios Thresh for a second game in a row.
I mean, they could go with the Thresh for missing. It looked exceptional on it. This time Ruler wants the Aphelios for himself. But I think it might be just the Nautilus. I think Aphelios Nautilus works exceptionally well at kind of countering that Xayah Rakan combination. Hard engage, really tanky frontline, and also just a straight up point and click CC with that from the depths. So you've got plenty to work with here as JDG if you want to try and set something up and make that bot lane your carry once more.
Blitzcrank has been getting extremely popular in the LPL, but my favorite Blitzcrank performance so far in this regular split is probably from Ming. I'm not too sure if you saw their series up against, I believe, TT. I could be wrong on this, but it was Missing and the top lane Sion doing the Adam strat from LEC, and they pull it off so well, where Blitzcrank is just being an absolute nuisance for these games. Well, LeBlanc is going to be the mid laner for game 2, as Strive has blind picked this, so it's very dangerous.
This is a bit of a dangerous one, but we'll have plenty of bans to throw at night just to try and make it a little bit more of a valuable pick. The LeBlanc obviously picked up a couple of different buffs here. We haven't seen an extremely high priority yet in the LPL. It's definitely kind of getting back into the little the maps, if you will, of or the priorities drafts of these teams. But for the moment, it does feel like it still needs a couple of different things to go its way. And right now, I'm looking at RA and I'm kind of thinking, you need engage, my dudes. Like you've got so much great damage, but nothing really to set that one up. So the next few picks with the Rakan gone, I'm looking very intently to know where they're going to be taking these next few picks. And honestly, I love the Leona ban coming out here from JDG as well. Just again, stopping those hard engages.
I'm assuming the counter pick is going to be safe for that top lane. Hopefully we get an absolute tank in the top lane like a Ksante or a Sion. I often prefer the Sion, but this time around, Cube is going to go with the Ksante blind. 369, I mean, he is very comfortable with just responding with something like the Sion, and the top lane is going to be an isolated matchup. Even the Gragas works exceptionally well, but I think this Gragas is going to go mid lane, as he will act as that utility for Kanavi to really pop off on this Viego, which also diffuses the LeBlanc pick perfectly.
Concerned with our cameraman just constantly zooming in on the ref. I'm just gonna call it out. I've seen it too many times, and it's just like, don't get me wrong, she looks fantastic, and I'm just like, yeah, support the referees, they're awesome, but like, come on guys, you know, okay, just calm it down even for a second.
Well, it does seem like the Akali is going to be the response, and they are going... Alright, I feel like they're cooking something for the support. It's definitely going to be aggressive, and we're going to get absolute chaos in the first 5 minutes from the bottom lane. But I do want to talk about LeBlanc for patch 13.5, as she has received a slight change to her Q. I believe every time she uses her Q when it comes to executing a minion, she refunds that mana. So her laning phase has gotten a lot better, but just a lot of mobility for the side of RA in this early game. But like you've been saying, not too much setup unless Southwind plays like an absolute god.
Yeah, I mean, got the Blitzcrank now, so Hook versus Hook in that bot side. Very similar compositions, all in all, as you can see, you know, kind of in the bot lane, excuse me, but outside of that, it is very much going to be about laning dominance for JDG. If they can get this Ksante behind, if they can put the Akali ahead, and I will say they haven't shaded just yet. It could be a top lane Akali here for 369, and the Knight going into the Gragas into mid lane, like you said, so looking to clean up a swift 2-0. Can they do it in under an hour? We shall see, but RA, they are fighting, still fighting for their lives. 2-1 is still a win. We already see them stacking up here. You've got to be so careful. I definitely heard they're missing parents. I was like, where are they gone? Who's missing them?
Missing's parents. We're in the cameras once again.
Apostrophe S.
Yes. I'm so sorry that I didn't emphasize on the S, as we don't want any of the other one.
It's why we learn. It's how we're developed as a duo, Kitty. You know, it's how we build our synergy. We get better and better and better, and eventually cast the World Finals. You know, it's all in the script. I'm sure someone has sent it to you. You know, check your emails, check your spam.
Flash.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be awesome. But yes, coming back into this one here, RA still fighting for their absolute lives. And JDG looking to squash them very, very quickly. As it is going to be a bit more about how these laning phases kind of go about. I feel like JDG have so many tools available to them, but where do you want to see Leyan kind of prioritize? He does have a fair bit of clear to go out for them, but the camps don't respawn as quickly as he'd probably like. So what do you want to see him do with a bit of priority he probably will have?
Leyan has two options here, so you can either work towards the side of Cube as you are up against an Akali before she hits level 6, so not as much mobility, where ideally you want Leyan to pick up all those kills and get ahead, or you could also path towards bottom lane where it is a little bit more risky because JDG has a response in terms of CC, but if Southwind is able to get his hands onto Ruler who has taken the Ghost, it could be an angle for this Nidalee to get the ball rolling early.
We'll see. Kanavi doing a bit of a full clear on his bot side. No vision on where exactly he is just yet.
That's the best LeBlanc skin, by the way. The mistletoe LeBlanc?
I'm not a LeBlanc aficionado. I'm not a big fan of playing her, so I'm not caught up on all her skins and the priority.
The reason why I got into YouTube content, or for League of Legends specifically, is because back in the day there used to be a YouTuber called SivHD, and he would have this meme called juking, and he would go 12 rowers on the LeBlanc, and he would just keep pranking the enemy team, and that's why I bought LeBlanc right after watching a video. The hook misses. But those are the good old days.
Hook misses just like you missed Civ HD. So I know. You can think about it, you know, kind of be happy with the way things are, and you know, content creators grow. Sometimes they there's nothing worse than seeing a content creator kind of go stale and kind of, you know, they don't really develop or move forward or anything like that. I don't know why, it just feels like it's kind of a sad moment. But you kind of you outgrow them, you know. You kind of just go, oh, I don't really mind about this one, but hook does land. Ruler is going to have to flash away just to make sure he does not die, but a hook for a flash, definitely a worth trade here for RA. Southwind continues to put the pressure down onto Ruler. He's going to continue to feel it until he gets to his, you know, kind of first boots, honestly, and that's when it gets a little bit easier.
Yep, I'm expecting a lot of Moby boots coming online as Kanavi is hovering mid lane, no mana on Knight.
Well, they're pushing in, seeing if they can maybe catch Strife out, but they're going to get them changed to land. The flash! And he has been juked. Leyan, though, maybe forced to use his flash now in a second. No, very confident knowing that he has enough mobility in just the pounce. And that is a first blood for RA. Good early priority. And again, similar to game number 1, we saw this. We knew that they could make this kind of priority happen.
Yeah, exactly. Going into the hands of Leyan as well. Well, this early game is a lot better compared to game 1, but I guess Knight just didn't expect the damage as he was already half HP. Kanavi looking for something more in top lane.
Yeah, he pops the ghost, but the Ignite's already ticking down. He is going to die. Honestly, that's a massive mistake, in my opinion, to Cube, because he got warned. There was warning pings going into the jungle exactly where Kanavi was.
The wave stay was also pushing into Cube, so there was no reason for him to overextend, as you saw Kanavi pathing towards top lane after he pushed in the mid wave. So that was just a mistake from the top lane of RA. Hopefully we don't get to see too much of that. But this mid lane, as Strife is getting a bit of damage onto Knight, he does have the flash available for this.
Oh, he's gonna get hit by the spear. They're still pushing forward. Oh, Leyan! No! He's after messing it up, but he doesn't throw away his life. He wanted to try and get the claws out, but a kitty has been declawed, and that is just an unfortunate series of events now. He's not going to be able to try and have the same level of priority now after coming back from that base.
Apologies for screaming, I got way too emotional, but I saw Leyan just face bump into the wall. Southwind getting a bit caught out.
He has flash, but I don't think he's going to have anywhere to go. And that's going to be him going to Kanavi. Excuse me, to Jay. Missing is now Kanavi. He's got himself a hook. He may look for it, but he doesn't know where Leyan is. It was a bit blind, and he only saw the last second where Leyan actually had gone, so nicely dodged out there. But this is why the Viego is kind of coming back into it. You know who has great abilities? The enemy team. And that's why the Viego is doing so much now in this, and that's why it always has.
You know what's gonna be comedic? If Kanavi steals the Nidalee soul and he lands more spears compared to Leyan this game. He has landed 1, I believe, so far.
2, I think.
Onto,
there was definitely one. Yeah, definitely 2.
Both onto Nai, I believe. You know, Gragas'
Yes.
hitbox just hits different, but yeah, that was a really unfortunate mid 2v1 trade for the side of Leyan as he failed his first pounce onto Nai and nearly died as a result.
Oh, flash hook! And let's see if we get your. Let's see if we can get your prediction. Let's go into the Kugel form, so can't actually change that. So can't be throwing any spears.
He's level 6.
Yeah, level 6 for Kanavi already at 6.5 minutes. And this is again, bit by bit, little by little, JDG just getting more and more priority, more and more kills, more and more gold.
Especially when you are in this matchup when it is Viego versus Nidalee. Once the enemy jungle, which is Kanavi in this instance, is already a tiny bit ahead, hasn't backed yet, just he is going to pick up extra items with the Sheen and the Ruby Crystal. You're never going to be able to 1v1 him just from pure item advantage. So Southwind and Leyan really need to link up for this early game until game 1 repeats itself.
Yeah, I was going to say, more things change, the more they stay the same. But first dragon, 3-1 in kills, 1,000 gold lead, and JDG are very happy with where things are right now. And it is going to be on Southwind. Look, I will say, the one thing you do have is that all it takes is one Blitzcrank hook. All it takes is one good hook onto Ruler, onto Knight, or even 369, and the dynamic of the game can change. But I just think that it's such a high, you know, kind of, or a low probability. It just feels like teams and players of this caliber are never really going to get caught out. There's a spear going wide as now Leyan might be in a little bit of trouble. No flash on Knight, so we can't flash belly bop, but we can definitely put in a hell of a lot of damage here on the Strife, who does have to just get himself away there with the distortion.
Alright. I'm gonna ask you guys a question. What made you think 3rd time's the charm, as they just did the exact same game 3 times in a row? And Knight, I mean, he has been just receiving that bit of character development, and he has been, well, he dodged the last one in terms of the gank, but this Nidalee is struggling to find ways back into the game and to make up for that lack of gold. But he's back in ball lane again as Ruler, no flash for 3 seconds, he has it now.
Yeah, he does have it. He flashes away immediately, but I love that move there from Southwind. You get in range for the knock-up, then after they flash, you throw out the hook. Really well done there, and Leyan gets himself a 2nd kill. Might even look for a 3rd. There's no ultimate here on missing, but got to be hitting those spheres. It's going to wait until this minion wave comes in, and he's just going to be able to try and donate this one over, you would imagine, over to Sssum. Really nicely done there by RA, and they get themselves onto equal gold and equal kills.
And they find the play that they've been looking for, as Sssum also picks up 2 plates and also a kill into his pockets, where Leyan also finding that kill onto Ruler, which was really well played from the support of RA, as he held onto that Q like he said, and that's exactly what you want to see from the Blitzcrank, as he now picks up the Moby boots, so we're going to see it a lot more, as Dragon is going to be spawning in 2 minutes, so hopefully we get to see some vision from RA in the bottom side.
Yeah, good. Got an early priority here. And yes, you know, Leyan, in fairness to him, has looked into mid, but he's also looked bottom. Love this from Southwind. Flash in, you've already got the animation going, and then just sneaks the hook around.
Oh, he hooked the Aphelios out of the Nidalee spear, though. It would have been perfect if the Nidalee spear hit mid-hook, but unfortunately, no. Did Leyan land a hook in this bottom gank? I don't think so.
Don't think he
2
landed
miss
a
onto
spear,
missing.
so yeah, definitely missed a couple onto missing. So we're still looking at maybe 2, possibly 3. You know what? I'll give him the benefit of the doubt and say 3. Yeah, so we'll see if they're able to kind of. We'll still have to wait to see if the Nidalee gets taken over. More spears thrown by Kanavi. He only has a limited amount of time to throw them out when it does happen, but would not doubt that he would be able to do it. As Knight is getting the priority here, is missing. Gets hooked. I was gonna say, ooh,
that is the longest Nautilus hook I've ever seen in my life.
I was gonna say, good buffer of the hook there. I like that Southwind fully committed there with the ultimate as well, just to make sure he could maybe try and go for it. There's the flash, there's the kill, no! Strife gets himself flashed away, there's another hook landing. They will trade back mid laner for mid laner, both junglers picking up kills, and it's Kanavi versus Leyan in this game. Over the back, we can see Kanavi once more. Great flash from Leyan, as there's a bit of a battle there. There's the ultimate coming out. Kanavi wants it, but he's tanking turret. He's not going to be able to get the heal away, and now Kanavi has to run for his life. knowing that he hasn't got the health bar left to try and fight this, but Leyan doing exceptionally well to make sure he does not fall to the Viego.
Stripe was extremely lucky in that 2v1 situation when he was getting tower dove, as JDG killed the clone instead of him, so he got to live for an extra 5 seconds, but ended up Wing back in, and both junglers also picking up that kill. Now 3 kills onto both the Viego and the Nidalee. Items were going to come online as Kanavi has already picked up that Sundara, but this early game it could go either way. Knight has been pretty good with his ultimates on this Gragas.
Has been exceptional, but let's have a look at the replay here, because again, this is just they picked the wrong clone. They weren't able to finish it off. It almost looks like they get him, but not quite able to finish off just before Knight does get him bursted out.
I don't think Stripe needed to go back in for that second W, as it was going to be a 1-for-0 since they are so overpushed in the lane. I think if Kanavi didn't transform straight away and let that LeBlanc E chain connect, it may have been a kill, but very close call to say the least, and both junglers get away. Missing!
Whoa! Missing is missing. He's gone to the gray screen, and now Kanavi's going to be shut down as well. There's 2 quick kills. What happened? Where did that even come from?
I'm assuming a Blitzcrank hook landed as the Ignite also got popped, but it had to be onto missing as Kanavi tried to save the support of JDG, but they do opt into a bad fight, and now the second dragon is going to go into the hands of RA.
This is definitely a much stronger position here for RA.
Look at Southwind.
Scott Ghost, no flash. He gets caught underneath this tower. He is dead, but missing coming back around, making it so a little bit more difficult. But he's going to get hooked. They're going to put the spear into him, and missing will go down for a 3rd time. Not quite yet. Dodges out on the spear. Leyan wants to think about maybe going over that wall, but doesn't know exactly who is there. Maybe Kanavi could be around the side. Now missing. Gonna land the hook and says, you want to bully me? I'm gonna bully you. Leyan is going to die. And that is just an overextension by Leyan. He had done all the hard work and then he throws it away.
Oisin, we're never gonna find out what resulted in the dragon going towards RA, because there are 11 kills at 13 minutes. Both of these junglers are feasting, and kill after kill, these engaged supports just keep landing CC onto the enemy team.
Yeah, I mean, such great awareness from missing to recognize, look, I can go for the hook here. I know I'm not going to be any real danger because the Blitzcrank was showing in lane, so he knew there wasn't any immediate CC to put him in a compromised position, and just capitalizes on that fact so exceptionally well. And it's just been exciting. And honestly, while this is all happening, we have to finally look at the replay here. We are going to see what happened. I think it's exactly as you called. You saw it in the future. It's going to be just a flash into a hook, and that's as easy as it is.
Yeah, the root also got to Kanavi from the Xayah, so he unfortunately fell as well, as Nai was just like, alright, peace, I'm out. This bottom was just... They didn't have enough damage to kill missing, which I was pretty surprised by, as he just walks away scratch-free. I would have went for it, as it was a free kill onto the Nautilus without the flash available, but now with Kanavi coming in, no vision for the side of RA, the hook connects, and the Nidalee falls, I believe, giving over a bounty as well.
Yeah, 450 gold, and I mean, look how powerful and rich these junglers are. Night Harvester finished up for Leyan. You've already got the Divine Sunderer for Kanavi. And actually, while we've been talking about this, it's actually a bit of a quiet 30 CS lead for 369 in that top lane. He's already got his Riftmaker, so he's feeling good right now in this top side, doing exceptionally well for himself. As can't wait to see the surprise on the rest of RA's faces when he comes into the lane, and all of a sudden he's absolutely ridiculously powerful. But you do have a did Missing die?
Missing is dead in the replay.
Missing died. Yeah, Missing died, and that's why bot lane priority was given over to RA.
Yeah. I did mention beforehand, talking about JDG, when JDG do lose in the early game, it's often through missing, as he just sometimes gets caught while he plants down some vision, or he just mispositions, and RA is currently finding leads through the Nautilus, as Kanavi potentially looking for a dive onto Cube. He is so tanky with a bit of MR as well.
Very, very tanky, but this is 2 fully completed items there between Kanavi and 369. Definitely to be respected, and Cube says I'm also to be respected, and gets himself kind of back up and into the faces of JDG, and come back, take stock of what's happening right now. It is an Infernal Rift, and it's 1 dragon apiece. 1,000 gold actually in the favor of RA, as bot lane 3-0 and 2. Sssum very nicely accelerated. exactly the same in terms of CS, but feeling an awful lot more powerful considering he's been given that little bit of a boost towards his Navori quick plays.
Yeah, most definitely. And just looking at the AD difference in terms of just kills, Sssum is sitting on that 3-0, pretty KDA for the Xayah, and I think the Xayah is going to become a huge problem for the side of JDG because you have the Akali, you have the Gragas, also Viego, Nautilus that all want to go forward. But once the Gragas ult misses and the Nautilus ult doesn't connect, if they do misplay it, then the Xayah is just going to dance onto the side of JDG when it does come to those major objectives.
We'll see. 50 seconds till the next dragon spawns. JDG has got first items built up. Actually, everyone's got a first full item. Cube even going towards that Force of Nature. Actually really like that considering he's against a Gragas and an Akali. Definitely giving him a lot more priority of dealing with them. As there's a hook, it lands straight away onto Knight. And he is dead. That's all it takes, Kitty. One hook, one moment. And it changes the dynamic of a team fight. There is no team fight to be had. You will have the dragon spawning as a flash comes in. Good guy minion. And now that's how you really hook a champion. I've been said that though. Strife moving forward, getting in so much more damage. 369 puts himself on top of Sssum, who lets the feathers fly. And this is RA looking exceptionally better than they did in game number 1. They're putting the, kind of the fight to JDG, and JDG don't really have an answer right now.
Yeah, this Blitzcrank is putting in work, making these picks really matter before the dragon spawns on the map. But I think if Missing didn't go for the return hook onto the enemy team, he would have just traded a 1-0 as Knight fell as a response. That was a blind, it probably wasn't a blind hook. Maybe we solved it from a blue ward. Kanavi dead.
Not dead just yet. Still trying to see if he can maybe get the smite down onto the or the kill onto the Gromp, get an extra little bit of healing. But Strife will pick that one up for himself. And now 10-5 in kills. RA got himself a 3,000 gold leader, just a little bit underneath it. Sssum scaling up very, very nicely. This game is kind of running away from JDG.
Yeah, I'm gonna be real with you, Oisin. I am resident Gragas mid hater because I just don't see it finding much success in the LPL, as a lot of these players don't really know how to pilot the Gragas when it does come to those really important team fights. But this instance, it was just very unlucky as Knight got hit by a blind hook from Southwind. So maybe it's just Southwind smurfing out his mind, which is exactly what RA needs. He misses this one as the extra tanky minion takes that, but return kill does get Strive another kill into his pockets.
We'll see how JDG, if they can at all, come back into this one here. Mid lane's going to be put under siege and taken, but JDG don't want to let it go for free. There's level 13 Akali now, and there's a great belly bop. They've found their mark, and they will take down the bot lane. 2 swift kills. The solo laners combining so beautifully.
Knight had his eyes set onto Sssum, not having that Xayah ultimate available for another 10 seconds, I'm assuming, looking at the icon, and he clutched it right with the TP, connecting the double stun onto them as well. JDG coming back into the game from just 2 kills in mid.
Right back into this one here, get themselves the turret as well. I thought they were going to lose their turret, but they gained one. They're honestly going to probably gain another one as well once this wave gets pushed in, but maybe they're looking at priority up on this top side. 30 seconds till Baron spawns. It would be very risky to go for it. Yeah, they're going to go for resets. I saw them all leaning towards it, and I got a little scared.
A little scared indeed, but RA do need to be a little bit careful as they do have both the Viego and Aphelios available for the side of JDG, so they can sneak it if the enemy team isn't too careful about their macro. We haven't seen too much from Cube though. This Ksante 0, 1, and 0 currently. So hopefully we get to see more out of RA when it comes to the 5v5s. But this TP play from Knight was so well played as he just clutched it with the cooldown onto the Xayah ultimate. As I said earlier, once the Xayah doesn't dodge the bomber from Knight, well, the dispositioning that Gragas can provide is insane for an ADC.
Woo! Ruler. Could feel that one whisper past his butt cheeks there as the hook does not land, but they might have a little bit more of a fight to kind of deal with. Strife moving forward here, going to land the chain, and they're going to force the ultimate out, but They might be compromising themselves as Leyan's not really got a place to go. They will trade back jungler for jungler. Strife will go down pretending to be the decoy. And now the perfect execution. They silence the Akali, but can they silence Ruler? The feathers fly as Cube looks for the Aphelios. As the Aphelios is just kind of continuing to move forward. Ruler is just pushing in, wants to get a little bit more, but the Infernum shall not do enough. There's the ultimate. He lands it and delivers himself straight to the Blitzcrank. Southwind thought he was doing himself a favor, but delivers himself to death's door.
And that's Baron for JDG. They're starting it without their jungler. I don't know if they can do it. They're so slow with the blue and purple from Ruler. Hopefully they can sneak it before Leyan gets to this Baron. But that was a 4v5 from JDG as Ruler was just CSing in mid lane. But once he came, I mean, he just kills everything.
He came, he saw, he conquered. Kanavi's not there. The Baron's not dead just yet. There it goes. Finally does go down. I thought maybe that Leyan would have been able to get himself into position, but we're going to have a lot to break down in this next replay as JDG find themselves a 5k gold swing.
Yeah, it does seem like Kanavi does get caught out in this top side as Stripe goes in for the engage onto Kanavi. He had to ult away with the Nidalee spear also connecting. Double TPs coming out of both top laners in this team fight, but just the ADC of JDG isn't here just quite yet, so it did seem a little bit good for RA until 369 on the Akali makes everyone 1 HP before he falls. And it did turn out really bad for RA as they became very split and assumed not having the angle to DPS on the Xayah. Doesn't seem like we're back to reality though.
Yeah, snap back to reality. As JDG find themselves trying to contest around this dragon. Is there still a moment here? You land the Q.
Again?
Yep. Kanavi gets one, but you cannot flash away from missing. He will go down. Good ultimate to try and separate everybody away. Cube is just not tanky enough to deal with Ruler. And with 369 finding himself on the backside, goes into stasis to make sure that Strife will not be killing him off. The feathers come back as Knight's very, very low and will fall down. It looked exceptionally good for JDG, but RA able to bring it back and they trade back 2 for 1.
This is only the second dragon for JDG and the third, so they can't afford to lose any more Baron buffs as 2 people fall for the side of JDG. It's so trippy looking at these hook champions. Southwind, he's looking onto Ruler right now. He's so low though.
He is so low. They've got 369 and missing coming from base.
Oh, no, he's
Southwind's dead. Yeah, he gets caught out by the Q. Ruler is just grabbing JDG by the scruff of the neck and going, we are not losing this game. And never mind that. He gets caught out by Strife, who has to sacrifice his own life. The dragon finishes him off. 369 getting caught out here by Sssum. A TP going to be coming in from Knight. They've got Cube running towards this one as well. Kanavi going to have to lose that form. And just because of the way the health bars are, I think they've got to give up this dragon as well.
The 2-minute dragon fight has finally ended, and this second dragon is going to fall into the hands of JDG Inferno. Leyan does look like he wants to contest this as Cube joins the fight.
Ooh, that's blocked the hook. Try and stop this one here. They're going to jump onto Sssum, and Sssum is going to die. They're going to get the resets now here for the Viego. Kanavi can put the feathers down, let them fly himself. Cube trying to just get away with the all-out. Southwind is sprinting, trying to see if he can maybe land a hook onto somebody as Leyan and Cube just running away as fast as they can, missing hooks in to get a 3-man knock-up with his ultimate. Misses the hook completely, but it doesn't matter. Kitty, it is chaos with 32 kills at 24 minutes.
Knights and Kanavi are popping up as a duo. They're putting in so much work as Leyan and Cube beating the melee champions once Nidalee is in Cougar form. It's so tough because Knight has so much chain CC and Kanavi having the Black Cleaver now doing tons of damage as they look like they're going to get tier 2 tower in this mid lane.
Finally get that tier 2. 2 dragons each, 16 kills each, 3,000 gold lead for JDG. And then all chaos is brewing as nice little spear. Leyan lands the spear. He was not Leyankos today. He lands himself the spear and gets it. That's what people call him in Switch Shot, I believe. When he plays in Italy, Leyankos. So you know, there's some cross-pollination between the regions. It's always good to see. I wonder if anyone from like LEC is like in Twitch chat calls someone like, you know, like, because I know like, you know, baby faker is Caps for ages, but Caps has kind of been in the league for a while. Anyway, I'll think about it and come back. Is it Claps or Craps?
Oh yeah, but this snipe from
Claps
was
or Craps.
so nice.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I guess Strive just one-shots the ADC of JDG as he tanks a full damage Nidalee spear. And this fight was ideally going well for RA, but 369 coming with the Akali, having that ultimate available. Well, not ultimate, but having the E-connect onto the LeBlanc just meant it was a 2-for-1 trade. But once again, we've been saying this Viego paired with a utility mid laner, if he's ahead, he's gonna kill everything.
That's a 3-item Viego. That is absurd to hear about, because normally, like, towards the end of the game, we're kind of looking at it and saying, like, all right, you know, 2 items, maybe 2.5, you get a stopwatch or something like that. If the game goes super late, junglers get up to a GA or something similar. Now we're looking at 3 items onto the Viego, and Kanavi is just trying to carry this whole thing. I will say that Knight's definitely been a little bit, quote-unquote, exposed on this Gragas. Has had some good engages, but definitely not the most cleanest performance on the Gragas, so there's definitely been opportunities here for RA, and with 3 items across the board for them, on most of their major carries, they are looking exceptionally set up here to be able to contest this next fight. I will say the biggest stickler for me right now is Cube. He's 50 CS down, he's 0-3, and he doesn't have his mythic. He has no real armor kind of stacking. He hasn't got the health and armor stacking to kind of really set himself up for success against Kanavi and, of course, Ruler with the attack damage they bring.
Yeah, Baron spawning in 40 seconds. A strike going in. Hook misses, unfortunately, but if you just... Ah, the hook missed again! Oh my god, my heart. Anyways, if you take a look at the HUD, the kills are dead even. The dragons are dead even. The only thing that's separating JDG from RA right now was the extra Baron that they were able to secure early on in the game. So if Southwind once again lands a really nice hook onto the carries, they can come back still.
And definitely come back, and the longer this game goes, the higher the death timers become. We're kind of sitting 40-45 seconds on those death timers. Big shield here for Ruler as he does have the BT finished up and ready to go. Strive just trying to see if he can be a bit more of a nuisance. Just over a minute till the next dragon spawns. RA not willing to let go of this mid lane control, and those spears landing mean that Missing is definitely going to have to take a little trip back to the fountain.
Resetting for those wards as Dragon is also going to be spawning in 1 minute, but JDG setting up their wards towards his top side. Both teams actually setting up their wards towards his top side, meaning that this Nautilus will have first move, and it does seem like JDG having this mid push as well going into their favor. It's going to be really tough for RA to walk in, but my eyes are onto Strive because an assassin that does have mobility, I mean, you can just blink and Ruler might be dead from that.
We'll wait 30 seconds to the next dragon spawn. It's only going to be sole point for anyone, so it's only just a small little thing. I love the Banshee's priority because of Southwind right now. You're kind of, I know you get a bit of magic resistance against Leyan and Stripe, but in my mind, it's like we are doing this Banshees between Knight and 369 because of the Blitzcrank. We cannot get hooked off from the side out of nowhere. Leyan, he's going to get hooked himself, goes immediately into the Zhonya's to try and stay alive, flashes away as well. The Nautilus ultimate does land, but I don't think they're going to have anyone to really follow up on that. Strive flashes away from the oncoming Nautilus hook. So, a couple of summoners burn, a couple of ultimates gone, but at the end of it all, everyone's still alive and well.
JDG is hovering towards that bottom. If RA wants to, they can just trade Baron here as both objectives are available on the map. But they did burn 2 flashes. Ruler's already on this dragon. Yeah,
Ruler's already going to be able to get it and confirm it. So that's going to be the dragon confirmed here. That sole point flash. For Flash, both the supports gaining the mid laner's flash there because they're hooked, but Leyan can't escape that one. He doesn't have a stasis this time around. We see Missing going into stasis to make sure he doesn't die straight away. He will fall as Cube goes all out. The supports have been traded back to fight on 2 front, but the Aphelios has been killed off, and as has the Xayah. Both bot laners have been taken out in this fight. It's becoming all about these solo laners, but Kanavi was still inside of the Xayah. Kanavi still had access to all of those juicy stats. He wasn't able to make it confirm.
The 2 ADCs got assassinated in that team fight. Apologies for cutting you off, but Kanavi, he knows how to pilot the Xayah, and he was just popping Leyan's health bars. He's going to steal this red buff away.
He's going to try maybe a spear in desperation to try and find it, but we are still equal. We are still waiting to see what's going to break this game open. And JDG, they're being made work for this one. If they are to win, it's definitely not going to be in less than an hour.
Most definitely, but we're gonna get a replay as everything starts off with Southwind trying to land the hook onto Knight. Really nice reactions from the Gragas, but my eyes are on this LeBlanc as she was just killing the backline of JDG where they weren't able to really participate the fight at all. But on the other front, we have Knight just positioning everyone with the Gragas ultimate, and they have their own assassin in 369, and both ADCs were so occupied the entire fight, but Kanavi getting reset after reset, he was able to make up for that lack of ADC in the team fight.
It was the fact that Kanavi was able to take over the Blitzcrank, flash in, get the knock-up as well onto Sssum means that they were able to make it work for themselves. We come back into live, and everyone's fighting once more. Those spears are really starting to hurt right now. 8 stacks on a Dark Seal as well makes it almost up to the 100% or even more efficiency than you would hope for as the Baron control goes over to JDG. They're gonna have a little bit of a time to try and deal with these Scryer's Blooms. And again, Cube is now on 2.5 items, so he's a little bit tankier to be able to try and deal with this. Southwind getting jumped on here. The silence will come out, but it'll be eaten up by the Banshee's Veil.
They're doing Baron.
They are doing Baron right now. It's a 2-man, and nobody's really kind of contesting it for the moment. This Baron could just be gone. It is! The spear comes over the side, but it's not going to do much for you. They're going to jump onto Cube, who is tanky. They get a hook onto Missing, but that just puts him in the prime position to get his ultimate up. The Akali is dead. Cube is still surviving. Finally goes down. Now the resets can come in. Then Nidalee has gone down. Sssum goes up to let the feathers fly as Southwind gets taken over by the Viego. Ruler moving in and trying to see if he can find an angle, but 3 for 2 in favor of JDG and the Baron. They're going to go towards top and maybe look for more.
In the very end, JDG comes out on top with an extra kill, and the Baron, once again, the XP stonks are just going up for specifically Ruler, but these fights are so scrappy as we see RA once again entering the enemy jungle, and they were forced to back. It does seem like Strive is going to get a return tower in the mid lane, but no one is protecting that top lane inhib.
No, Sssum can only just wait and see if anyone does overextend, but that's going to be the inhibitor broken open now on that top side. With Dragon up at a minute 40, that's the perfect inhibitor to have when you're looking for that Infernal Soul. And a reset coming in for JDG as they just kind of called the bluff of RA and said, look, you're not close enough and we have the damage.
Yeah, now with the top lane inhib down as well, they're just going to set up for the 4th Dragon. But this Nidalee spear, I mean, if Kanavi wasn't standing there, could have stolen it. Strive was looking for an angle onto the AD carry once again, but I think Ruler's positioning this fight was really good, so he didn't get assassinated by the LeBlanc, as we see both the ADCs trying their best to do as much damage, but this BT build from the Aphelios, he is still full HP and they were forced to back his Kanavi double kill.
We come back in, more items for AD carries. More opportunities for damage, and people are going to start melting in these team fights. Southwind just needs 1 hook. Only on about 6 or 7 second cooldown, no longer as long or arduous as it was earlier on in the game. You should have it maxed out.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it is obnoxious to say the least, and I like that they're trying to gain some vision control, but all around this one little area, they're not really gaining anything else out of this. It's all being pushed away here by the side of JDG as they're looking for 30 more seconds until that dragon spawns, and that would be Infernal Soul, and you got to feel like that would be the final nail in the coffin here for RA.
Bottom wave is also really tough for RA as it is slow pushing into them. JDG does look like they're going to obtain the mid lane priority, and it's just going to get extra tough trying to walk into a Nautilus and a Gragas.
More and more wave clear with those Infernum guns going off. Yeah, I mean, 2 super minions, you got to deal with that. And that means you have no way of actually defending this. Yeah, I mean, you have to try and throw somebody at it because you have to try and maybe do something, but that's the Infernal Soul for free. And that's what I said earlier, is that the best lane to have this inhibitor down when you're looking for a soul is the top lane, because it means it's the furthest away from anyone from defending it.
Yep, most definitely. And JDG just going to focus down on this bottom tier 2 tower as Knight pressures the mid lane with that Baron buff as well. JDG is playing extremely slow as they also receive the Inferno Soul into their hands. Strive looking for an angle, but he doesn't have enough damage as they just have so much MR machine.
There's just nothing you can do. It's the problem when you prioritize so many magic damage champions. They're good until the magic resistance come in. The funny thing is, Ruler hasn't even built any magic resistance. Woo!
He does
one
not
auto
care.
attack. He does not care because he's got so much to be able to work with it. Not taking a fair bit of chunk damage here onto himself, but just not really caring about it right now, and they're going to be able to push this one in. No Baron left, which means it's going to be a little bit of a slog to try and push into this wave clear as the hoof does miss. Now that that threat is gone, they can just keep pushing forward. Yeah. JD69 almost gets caught out, but he's just a distraction. He is just the diversion for the main mission coming out. There's the ultimate coming out, forcing Southwind down and out. We're going to see Sssum go for a flash, but Ruler wants to trace him away. It's slow, it's steady. It's painful for RA as they can see their playoff hopes burning away. It does land, and Stripe is dead. JDG, they were made to work for it in this game number 2, but it looks like they're going to be able to secure themselves a 2-0, keep themselves in that top 2 position in the LPL standings, and RA will be falling, and RA will be missing out on playoffs. Oh, they don't end! Oh my god, the quadra kill for Sssum! How'd that even happen? I was setting up for the end!
That's exactly what I thought, Oisin. But Sssum, I mean, maybe everyone was just so turbo-focused on killing the Nexus that they forgot that Xayah at the 36-minute mark, with 4 items available, just one-shot everybody. But the game continues, Oisin, and it definitely caught us both off guard.
How does Ruler die?
Yeah, I'm not too sure. The hook connects onto the support of RA, forcing the Xayah out as well. But Ruler flashing forward a little bit greedy, doesn't finish off the ADC of Sssum, as they're just going to end the game right here. Another hook connects. I thought the game was over as the LeBlanc died, but it didn't, because Leyan reset from the mountain. Ksante died into the fountain. Oh, Kanavi.
Okay, so how does Ruler die?
How does Ruler die? He has shurikens and purple gun. He's not the best.
Hitting the Nexus. He's hitting the Nexus. Okay, he gets knocked back. What? What? How does he die? I don't even understand that. He just that's why I thought it was over.
I think Jim just danced on the back line, or on the front line of JDG, and it probably caught Ruler off guard if it caught us off guard.
I mean, yeah, definitely not a position you want to be at, because I think Ruler had a stopwatch. I just don't think he used it because he was like, well, I'm not going to die, we're going to end the game. But now with Baron up in 5 seconds, this could be an opportunity here for RA to come back into this one here. They have the top lane inhibitor respawning, so they're not going to have that pressure available to JDG. It's still exceptionally close despite everything going down, and RA have themselves a 2-kill lead.
Flash from missing.
Yeah, it's all on Sssum. He needs to be the one to kill off everybody as he did in the last one. Quadra kill for him. And that's okay. Attention now for this fight, because this could be a huge moment.
Gonna go for the back door?
He could.
369 is sitting behind enemy lines. They don't know.
Yep, blast cone. He's got a blast cone. And he's going. They know he's not there, and he's not been seen on vision just yet. Now they're pinging him. The TP's going to come out, but 369, do you have enough time? Do you have enough damage? 1 auto attack, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. That's all he needed. They even got the Baron on the side of JDG. It took a while, but they got themselves the kill. 369 ends the game.
48 kills, and JDG takes the series away with a 2-0, with Missing's parents also sitting in the crowd. Definitely very, very proud to be winning this series up against RA.
It was close. Definitely some good moments there from RA, but JDG not to be outdone, and definitely a moment or two of scary moment. But look, you know, at the end of the day, 2-0 is still a 2-0. You got what you needed. You got the result you wanted.